welcome to Real Flix Reviews Movie News. This week we have Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, and Ryan Preston.
Black Glove.
So this week's, instead of a question, we're going to be discussing one of Ryan's favorite movies, Super. And, well...
Oh, you know what? Hold on. We're jumping in on this right now since it's still fresh. I think we're going to jump in this one right now. Now
it's like a cat litter in here, man.
We wouldn't even hit record or think about a question, and we were already just ripping into this one. So I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off and be like, dude, I don't enjoy the awkward characters after watching The Office. I've seen too much of it, and that's why I'm not a big fan of Rainn Wilson. Thank you. I'm not a big fan of that style. So he's got a hot chick that he was so mortified that she date raped him. She's freaking way out of your league, dude. Enjoy it. You're not getting anything else except for tentacle porn in your hand.
By the way, would this make him Rivers slightly touched older brother?
No, I wouldn't throw him in that family. I mean, anyways, but that's not my issue. The biggest one, it was just poorly written. I mean, it was like kind of trying to mix in like Napoleon Dynamite and superheroes.
Well, look, okay, yeah, sure, awkward character, yeah, fine, but that's obviously what his character was. I don't have the vitriol that you do for a little bit of awkwardness, and nearly is something like he was doing in the Steve Carell was doing. The movie itself played against the awkwardness. It was the story of this guy who actually got so fucking frustrated trying to get his wife back through all this other shit that he just went absolutely ballistic. And his idea of a superhero was to grab a fucking pipe wrench and start braining people who cut in front of him in line. You know, that's one of the most cathartic fucking scenes I've ever seen.
So we're mixing and falling down now, and Ichi the Killer.
Pretty much.
Well,
except not as good.
To a certain extent, yeah.
And I mean, Ichi the Killer.
I mean, it's sort of like the dark comedy. You know, obviously a very, very dark comedy. But
you can't call this movie comedy. It's not funny.
Oh, well, says the guy who fucking hates comedies. Don't do that shit.
He picked a comedy, didn't he?
I've picked a couple of comedies, but they're not necessarily comedies.
You know, I don't get why you like this one so much. Why?
Because it was a freaking one. It was actually funny. The just scene by scene, it was some crazy shit. If it wasn't funny, it was like, oh fuck, that was dark. You know, you got Kevin Bacon as a bad guy. The weird comic book chick. I mean,
Footloose.
You know, maybe not. Probably. But yeah, okay, there you go. But Ellen Page, you know, the cutest, you know, perpetual 14-year-old of all time.
Oh.
You know, playing the nerdy comic book chick with the whole reverse rape scene was hilarious.
By the way, I did like how she died in that.
That's true.
Yeah, and that came out of bloody nowhere and was you know, another one of those shocking moments.
Shocking?
But here's the superhero.
I was hoping for it.
And I say superhero with the.
What do you think is going to happen?
It's not going to stop you getting hit in the face.
Well, look, see, that's the thing is these types of movies typically, you know, play against that where things happen in the hero's favor or you know, you never see that kind of thing happen to a hero, and then next thing you know, a quarter of her face is missing.
That's what happened when she tried to catch a load.
I mean, you know, you're just coming into
that one got through.
But no, I mean, it was incredibly well acted on all sides. You know, you're more actors than a movie like this would usually get. I mean, between Liv Tyler, freaking Michael Rooker, Rainn Wilson, Ellen Page, Kevin Bacon.
I don't even think the acting was that great.
I've seen better acting in a phone book, man.
Acting was definitely good, but
you mean on point, literally? I mean,
what?
I didn't think the acting was that great. I mean, for what it was supposed to be, I don't know. I didn't give a shit about any of the characters. That's my thing. If I don't give a shit about the characters in television or movies, it's over for me. And I didn't give a shit about it because I figured, dude, you got what you deserve, and then you got something you didn't deserve, and then you lost that too. So screw you. Take yourself out. Let's end the movie in 45 minutes.
So with that being said, you're going to have to save
we're
this
doing movie
conversation.
news now?
We're going to have to save this conversation for next week. I think this might be a continuing thing we're going to do in the show.
It has been continuing for like 3 years now.
Well, no, I meant we're going to be talking about the movies we've done in the past. I think we'll save Ryan
we're going to
undue
do Buffalo
harassment.
66 too?
Maybe. So, the most interesting thing that I've read is Cars 3 knocked Wonder Woman off the number 1
Really?
position this weekend, which I thought was interesting
Well,
considering how big of a hit Wonder Woman was and how much,
Yeah.
It was because the
but
freaking
just
feminazis were
the
standing out in
sheer-
front and chasing the guys off.
Well, Cars
But
3...
the sheer number of 5-year-olds who are going to go see Cars, and all the parents who are also going to go see Cars because they liked the first one. I fucking liked the first one.
Well, the
Yeah, the
interesting...
movie's going to make $1 trillion.
The interesting thing is Cars 3, I didn't see a lot of advertisements for it
I didn't either.
anywhere. So
I didn't even know it came out.
the fact it came out to me was kind of like, oh, wow. Because
Yeah, I've been seeing them around lately.
with Wonder Woman was fucking everywhere. You couldn't go anywhere without seeing, this chick pull out a sword out of the back of her dress or something, which apparently is now a meme because it's been all over Facebook.
Okay.
You haven't seen it? So she
To
wears
me, it's like the most perfect one screenshot of all time, though.
You mean her and the sword? Ryan? Ryan? Mork calling Orson. Mork calling Orson.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, so what did you say?
Here, idiots.
So,
I was saying that's the most Wonder Woman thing of all time with the sword and the dress.
oh no, I totally
Like,
agree.
okay, sure, I'll dress up for you, but I'm still keeping the sword.
I am wondering if they're going to show how to defeat her, which is simply, according to the older comic books, binding her wrists. Made her helpless.
Yeah.
Well, the original Wonder Woman was basically created as
S&M.
kind of an homage to the bondage thing. S&M.
Which is weird, is because she had that weakness up until the 80s. I didn't really follow the cartoon or comic books or anything in the 90s and up, but I know up until the 80s.
Yeah, probably till the first time a woman read the comic book and was like, "I'm sorry, what the fuck?"
Right? Got an interesting thing about John Landis says the Dark Universe isn't respectful of the monsters. What do you guys think of that? Does that necessarily matter?
Yeah. I mean, to a certain extent. Obviously, I haven't seen the movie. I don't know in what way he means that.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that too.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, you have to be respectful to the monsters. I mean, obviously, it's a human story. It's the man versus whatever the monster is. But it's the reason that we all went to go see him was because of the monsters. Give a shit about Tom Cruise running around.
Well, my biggest question is, what does he mean by not respectful? Does he mean it has to be the old-fashioned monsters? It can't have any depth to it besides me kill? Or does this monster have more, a little bit more character to it? I want to know exactly what he means.
Well,
by
I don't think that somebody's going to say it's disrespectful to give something more character. But if you're just using these random little MacGuffins to move story along and kind of throwing in these weird, I can see how that would irritate me.
Honestly, with what I've seen of the trailers, that's my biggest thing I'm thinking it is. It's a Tom Cruise movie, so it's a bunch of gags to try to tell a story, because that's all Mission Impossible is.
Well, it's usually a bunch of gags to make Tom Cruise look awesome.
And tall.
And like a
That's
an
just
Olympian.
camera angles, buddy.
Or sorry, train harder than a
I mean, hey, but he can ride a motorcycle like a motherfucker, though.
Because it's in every single contract he's in. Must have motorcycle scene.
Or if there is a motorcycle scene, it's without a helmet so people can see that it's me.
What nobody can see is he's really riding those mini sport bikes that were really popular like 8 years ago.
I don't know enough about his bike to know what he's
Total
riding.
dead silence on that one, John.
Because I was waiting for Ryan
Yeah.
and the thing cut out. So an interest.
I have no idea.
So Big Trouble in Little China is getting a sequel, but not in the way you'd expect. I'm not quite
Because
sure.
I've always been expecting a sequel to that movie.
Are you being sarcastic or honest?
Yes, I'm being sarcastic.
I'm trying to figure out why. I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked the movie, but This movie was literally the perfect, one-hit wonder. Because we all see what happened when Snake Plissken got a second movie.
Well, I mean, how many? Yeah, I know, right? Oh my God, seriously. Want to talk about from just like the coolest cult movie of all time to like, wait, what?
Yeah, I think this movie should. I think what they should do is scrap it, write a different movie that doesn't have. Honestly, I like the movie, but it's like there's nothing in my. I like Snake Plissken. The character in this movie is.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, how many, like you said, how many one-hit wonders have had sequels lately? Just because, like, hey, people liked this movie back in 1993. Let's fucking do a sequel.
ID4.
Oh,
putting that out there.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, exactly. There's my point right there.
ID4.
I really loved the first Independence Day. I was excited for the sequel when it came out. I say, cool, I don't really care about Will Smith. But then I saw it and I'm like, for once I agree with Will Smith not wanting to do a movie. Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's the only reason, Will Smith would be the only reason they would have got me to pay for that movie.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm like, oh, I'll watch this maybe on basic cable one day.
Isn't it weird that he made the right pick in doing Suicide Squad over ID4 too?
Dude, yeah, but
yeah, who would have thought that one?
I wouldn't have.
I mean, ID4 was breakout for his career though. That one was the one where you knew that he was an action star.
Oh yeah, that pretty much cemented him in the American lexicon.
It was Bad Boys that did it first. Yeah. He did Bad Boys while he was still doing fucking Fresh Prince, man.
That's a good point.
I would say Bad Boys didn't have as much as an audience as Independence Day did.
That's where I was going to go.
Well, Bad Boys. It was definitely a hardcore kind of buddy cop sort of action movie. But but ID4 was right after. It was like the next year, might even have been the same year.
Oh, I'd have to look.
And then Men in Black was right there. Dude was like the biggest thing in the world in that time.
Yeah. Yeah, it really was.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/RealFlixReviews. If you have a movie you'd want us to do, or even some movie news you'd love our take on, you can go to there. Also, you can catch us on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, and more. And I kind of have a question for us this week. I'm just curious what you say. This is a picture I posted to our Facebook page, and I quote, "Wonder Woman is the first strong female lead that faces unsurpassable odds to inspire women." New York Times. And it shows Ripley from Aliens. So my question for you guys is, well, are there any other strong female leads that doesn't have a fucking superhero attached to it?
Princess Leia.
Yeah,
I'll totally with that. Ryan?
Yeah, that would have been my obvious answer. Yeah, there's a few. I mean, obviously my taste leans kind of towards my gender. I could definitely admit that. So forgive me if I can't come up with a bunch of awesome examples.
I have
wish
more.
I could right now.
I would say Tomb Raider.
That's actually what I was going to throw in.
It only but the iterations of the movies, actually suck ass. But as far as the character, yeah, totally. And to me, the difference between Ripley and Wonder Woman is Ripley was sort of kind of thrust into this, like, oh, now I got to survive kind of mode.
Yeah, if
she
you want,
was a badass character already, but her circumstances were like, here, now you're in this situation. Wonder Woman was like, no, I want to go do this. This is my I don't want to say destiny, but what she felt she needed to do, morally.
Well, I'm even going to throw out there, you got not all of them, but quite a few Mila Jovovich films. The first Resident Evil.
Definitely.
We won't talk about the other ones. But even still, she was a fierce leader.
Yeah.
And in the other one, she was the...
I would say Michelle Rodriguez character in Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I was also going to throw Mila Jovovich out there for Fifth Element.
Oh, yeah.
Another one. She even protects Bruce Willis. How many people have you seen protect Bruce Willis? None.
Yeah, for sure.
Her.
Leela was badass.
Yeah, so I mean, you got quite a few, and then we can even jump into TV shows. You got, Xena. I'm not a big fan of the show, but that was a big one. You got X-Files. You have quite a few of the Star Trek series that had strong female character roles. Even the really big one, like Aliens. That's an obvious one. And then we can even go into Terminator.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Ton of strong female roles.
Yeah, definitely. There definitely are examples. Obviously, not nearly as much as there are, but obviously the strong female leads that we're bringing up is still kind of in our wheelhouse of, you know, action movies. So our idea of a strong woman is one out there, you know, holding guns and kicking ass, which, hey,
well,
is
that's kind
badass.
of what Wonder Woman's doing, except for with a sword and a lasso.
Yeah, totally, and she's a warrior, absolutely. Like I said, though, she was making sort of the moral choice, you know, the stronger choice that nobody wanted to make, you know, out of fear or whatever the motivations were, but. You know, so that was respectable. I mean, obviously, we can get into movies like Hidden Figures or something where, you know, but that's obviously a real life example. We're talking about a fantasy world where, I think anybody I would want to be able to fly and kick ass.
I mean, I'll even throw out there V for Vendetta.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then I would even throw this one in there too, Leon the Professional. How about a young, really young 12-year-old that grows into a strong character with a backbone?
This is why
Natalie Portman has kind of nailed her career that direction too. She plays amazing women. Yeah. She just recently did play Jackie Onassis. You know, and I think it was called Jackie, wasn't it?
I think it was Jackie O.
That's
something
why
like
this,
that.
Something like that.
That's why this thing kind of bugged me a little bit. Is like there's a lot of strong female characters. Now you could say that there's a lot of strong female characters that definitely show their sex. There is definitely a lot of strong female characters like, you know, that they'll highlight her boobs or this and that. But it kind of bugged me enough. It's like, man, you guys aren't even reaching into the pool to pick out a strong female character. Ellen Ripley, in my opinion, it's like, how could you not pick that character? In my opinion, I thought she was the better lead character. It's because she was literally thrown in deep shit, didn't have a choice, and had to fight for her life in order to survive.
Yeah.
I think she's a much better character than Wonder Woman, and I'm a comic book fan.
Hell, we can even throw in the original Halloween.
I disagree. Yeah, but again, I disagree just again on the sole fact of somebody making the choice. We would all make the choice to survive, right?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, probably most of us,
except for anybody in the Bay Area.
One would hope. One would hope, students. One would hope that we would all have the urge to survive and you know, at least try to overcome insurmountable odds. You know, but making the moral choice to go out and say no, this is the right thing to do. That's to me a better character.
See, the only thing I'm curious on is I don't know a lot of male lead roles that do that choice, though. That's not exactly a common trope in movies.
Every other comic book movie.
Well, true, but I'm talking about non-comic books, though. I mean, because you're right. I mean, that's a very stereotypical comic book motivator.
Well, because comic book people are supposed to be the best of us.
So, is there any, like, male lead roles that do the same thing but a non-comic book movie?
That's what I'm thinking. I know.
I mean, dude, I'm sure I could come up with 1,000 examples if you give me.
Falling down?
What?
Yeah.
I'm trying. I didn't realize he was trolling there because I was like, I want to hear the logic behind this.
I know, right?
Because he's falling down. He's doing what everybody wants to do, but you know, morality in society stops you from doing it. Okay, that was good. Crap. So
I derailed the train again.
Chad, and I'm really sorry, I'm not going to be pronounced this. Chad Stahelski promises authentic fight sequences will return for John Wick Chapter 3.
Yeah, I think Stahelski.
So,
well, that's what they built their franchise on, right?
Yeah.
So I've only seen a bit of the John Wick 2. Does it mean there's not a lot of like the surreal fighting scenes in that one? Besides the fact, isn't the next one against like every assassin in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, but still, they kind of pulled all the tricks out, you know, with the specialist skills that he's got, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it was about as outlandish as the first one. No worse, no better.
Really?
You know, maybe a little more.
Or more outlandish?
Well, just more people.
Well, I figured it'd be more outlandish because usually sequels have to be. Very few sequels stay.
It really stayed grounded in the rules. You know, he gets jacked up. He shoots a bunch of people. Somebody made a really awesome graphic of all of the people that he killed and what weapons he used to do it. It's this like really cool infographic.
So I just found out about a death, and this gentleman apparently died last Saturday or later. Stephen Furst, Animal House and Saint Elsewhere actor, died at 63 years old.
Oh, it's actually pretty young.
I'm just shocked. I mean, there's been so many people that have passed away. I think every episode for last month has somebody who's passed away. So our sincere condolences to his friends and family. That really sucks. So this is going to be my news anchor impression. And happy news. What Disney character has the highest body count ever?
What, a
Bambi.
Disney character?
Yeah.
Bambi.
Mulan.
Man, I don't know. I'd have to think about the old school.
I'm actually not
Disney
surprised
stuff
by
from,
that.
like,
As you might remember, Mulan killed most of the Huns by crushing them in an avalanche caused by a rocket. There were 2,000 Huns, and 6 of them survived.
Crawled out of the snow. Yeah.
So according to this article, Mulan killed more people in any Disney movie anybody else, which I think is hilarious because she's another strong female character who made the moral choice and killed a shit ton of people.
I can get behind
Good
that.
point. Yeah, great female character.
Can I write my name in the snow after I'm done?
I'm not responding to that because I have nothing that won't get me in trouble. I'm not going to be DOS booted.
Like I care. Oh God, like I care. I mean, come on.
I'm still getting stuff from that, notifications from that. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So do any of you have any more news or anything you want to talk about before we sign
we were
a deal
talking
for the
about
evening?
films that really didn't get a lot of promoting. Maybe Ryan down in the LA area got something. I barely even knew that there was another Transformers coming out.
Oh, I did.
Like,
Man,
I
I
found out last week.
It's been everywhere, and I don't have I'm a cord cutter, so I don't really have any traditional television, but I've seen ads everywhere.
Wow, I haven't. I didn't find out about it until like last week was the first time I heard something about Transformers coming out. I'm like,
Now
they did another one?
Now I couldn't tell you what it's about by
And
watching
Mark's in it.
By watching the trailer. I couldn't tell you what it's about besides the fact apparently Optimus Prime's killing his friends.
That's what I just got. I figured that out like last week when I heard my first new thing about it. I'm like, what?
I will say back in the day, the one movie I remember not getting a whole lot of release information about, and then it was in and out of theaters really quick, was RoboCop 3. I think it was up here. It was in for like a weekend. It was 2 days, and then it got pulled because I remember trying to go see it when I was a kid.
Wow.
And it was literally, I was like, damn, that movie must have sucked. It was in and out. It
Probably
took long,
the owners of the theater watched it.
and it was
Like, we're not putting this shit up on the big screen.
it took longer to put the movie in the reels than they played it.
Jeez.
Yeah, because it's
Oh, wow.
as far as RoboCop movies go, RoboCop 3 was like the Disney version of RoboCop was happening later. They actually made a TV show after RoboCop, which was kind of weird. It was a cool show, but we're the happier, friendly RoboCop. We don't kill people as violently.
They just should have just actually put their money into a third season of Sledgehammer.
Right? Oh, I just thought of something. I have an idea of a TV show I'd love to see a reboot on, and I think they could pull it off, would be Alien Nation.
Oh.
I loved the TV show. I even really liked the movie.
Well, they redid, what was it, V?
I mean, they did District 9.
Well, I threw out V. I mean, did you guys see that one?
Yeah,
That was
did.
a remake. It wasn't bad. I mean, they kind of stayed true to the canon of the story of it, so...
No, and it was as weird as V, the original
I mean,
80s
it
V
has,
was, so...
it has Ryan's crush in it. A chick from, I can't think of her name, but she was in Deadpool as Deadpool's wife. Or
Oh, okay.
Oh, Marie Baccarin, man.
Thank you,
Hell
yeah.
yeah, that's my girl.
Yeah, she's a lead in V.
I hope she knows that.
I think they did 2
Yeah, no,
seasons.
she doesn't. She definitely doesn't. I stalk from afar, you know. But
You get Bill Cosby over there. Don't take
Get you a
any
drink.
from afar, not slipping.
Would you like a Jello shot?
Yeah.
Pudding Bop.
Yeah, see,
Put it in.
people like they don't let people like me in the same room with people like her. You know, that doesn't happen.
Unless there's a body.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm on the east side of Los Angeles. They keep
I'll
those-
tell you what that was going to be.
Because I really think Alien Nation. I think they could do a really good job of it now with all the politics and stuff there's been. I think they could play it off really well and have it very relevant. I don't know if any of you guys watched the TV show.
Not in a very long time. I
Me?
don't think I watched a few episodes.
It was Alien Nation. It was actually a
I
TV
remember
show
Alien
after the
Nation,
movie.
yeah.
I remember it.
And there were several. I really loved it. It was one of my all-time favorite TV shows, just because it was so. I thought it was semi-relevant, but without really putting anybody in the crosshairs of relevancy. Kind of like what X-Men did for the civil rights.
Oh.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, Ryan Preston, as always, thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Thank you.